Good morning, everybody. I'm Jennifer Mulholland. This is Jeff Shuck. We are the co-leaders of Plenty and calling into you today on Monday, May 11th from Park City, Utah and Michigan City, Indiana. It's kind of a dreary day here, spring, cold. The blossoms and the trees are turning green, but it's kind of rainy out. And I'm dressed a little bit for sunshine instead of the cold winter rain.
It's dreary
How's
here
it
too.
there?
It's super dreary. I don't know what's going on. The sun's trying. We had a beautiful week last week, but then the weekend got really gross and rainy and cold. But like you said, there are blossoms and leaves and stuff is about to pop everywhere, which is it's always such a beautiful time here. So summer can't be far away. That's what I'm pulling for.
Yeah. Well, to all the mothers out there, we hope that you had a wonderful weekend celebrating yourself and being able to receive the love and the care and the nurturing that you give to so many. Um, may, may you, well, we hope that you had the opportunity to celebrate and to receive that coming back to you. I had a great day yesterday at the Jordanelle, which is a reservoir quite close by. It was a beautiful day. The sun was out and spent the time with my mom and my brother and his family, my children, our family, and my dad got to come down and we paddleboard and played in the lake. And it was just so nice to be together. Um, I really notice that I have to practice not doing. It's such a practice to receive and not do the house projects or not be the leader to put all the food together or not do the shopping or not do the planning and coordinating. I just notice that that is such a role I have and I wear most of the time. So it was a great day to practice not doing that, but it's not easy for me.
No, it's not easy for anybody really, but I feel like everything's a little more poignant this year. Like, Mother's Day felt more special, and a little more meaningful. And for those of you who your moms aren't around or you couldn't connect with your mother because many people still can't move around that freely, we hope you had some way of connecting. Um, we were fortunate enough to see my wife's mother came over and that was really nice. I was happy to take care of people and made brats and burgers and pickles, homemade pickles, um, which were awesome. And that's one of the things I'm noticing this spring that I think is a positive about just staying at home and the pandemic. And I every time we say that there's positives, it's kind of worth putting a disclaimer out that we're not trying to minimize the tragedy or the hardship. And honestly, we're feeling it ourselves. But there are positives that are coming of it, at least for me, the time at home. And one of them is, Jen, we talk a lot about like seeing what is and seeing what's actually there with fresh eyes. And I've been doing a lot of that just around the house and stuff that I kind of like is that's maybe broken that I've always just tolerated or things that I've always wanted to do that I've kind of never gotten to. I'm kind of working down that list and it's nice. Like one of the things we noticed this past week is, oh, there's a little like unused patch of our backyard that we could create a garden in. So we built a raised bed and just it's kind of I have appreciated that, you know what I'm saying? Of just looking at things a little bit differently because we have to look at things differently and then saying, oh, I could do something about that, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of what we have set out the intention of May to be meandering May and giving ourselves permission to create, to follow the flow, to see where the nudges or the leanings lie. And when we notice something to pursue it, like you notice that space in your garden. And, I notice that I love to garden. I've gardened my whole life. And Saturday was the perfect day to get my hands in the soil and to plant vegetables and flowers and create beautiful arrangements in the earth and in pots, and really noticed how that made me feel. And now when I come in my front door, I'm welcomed by beautiful blossoming flowers, and really I'm always surprised just how that brightens my mood, and how I'm able to bring that connection of nature, you know, into the daily living
Yeah.
and daily life. Um, but I love that. One of the things I wanted to share is on Saturday, I had all these projects. Gardening was one of them that was on the plan. And when we woke up, my husband Christian had noticed Toby, my puppy, micro golden doodle, literally like bobbing for apples in the little pond that's in our backyard. And he was going after and trying to play with these little tiny ducklings,
Mm.
mallard ducklings, that were in this small little water hole, if you will, in our backyard. And so we were able to put him inside, and the mother was nowhere around. So it was clear that he had scared her off. And I made a few phone calls to wildlife rescue, and honestly, they were like, they need to find their mother, and their mother needs to find them. That's how they're going to make it through the night. Otherwise, they're going to get hypothermia, even in 80-degree weather.
Mm.
And so I could just feel my heart like, shit, this was not on my plan. Like, I have all these other things to do, and now I've got to deal with the ducks, right? And completely like overcome with this mothering instinct of how adorable they were. And it was my responsibility to somehow take care of them. So, long story short is we ended up putting them in a box and carrying them just across the street over to the big lake, in hopes that the mother would hear them, hear their little cries, or find them somehow. And that's what happened. The moment we put them into the lake, within 3 minutes, just that feeling of, oh shit, I really hope the mother is going to find them. Please come. And not knowing if they would survive, unlikely that they would if she didn't come back. She flew over the house, and you could just hear her quacking, quacking, quacking as they were crying and they met up. And it was just this amazing sight of our connection and our connection in nature, the mother instinct, the father instinct, the children that that we bear, like our connection to that home. It was incredible to witness, and it honestly made my Mother's Day on Saturday. It just was like the witness of the mother-child bond, the connection, and that we have that with each other, whether we're parents or not. Like that
Yeah.
ability to tune into the sight, the sounds, the heart, the resonance within each other, within our lineage, or within the people we care about, is always there, regardless of form, regardless of distraction, distortion, busyness. And it really quieted me and made me realize, wow, this connection is here and now, and it's always on. So
Yeah.
that was a real great highlight.
That's fun. And then there was video that you posted on that in the group, I think, that was really
Yeah.
cute and amazing. And, I mean, there's so many nice little metaphors in that story for a Monday. And one thing that we say all the time at Plenty is hope needs help. And, we're kind of 2 or 3 months into this new way of being for most of us. And depending on how you look at it, like the news isn't getting any better. The economic news looks terrible, and the news about the virus doesn't look much better. Um, and yet there's opportunities to help all around. And I think that's what I meant about being home. I've probably been home more over the last, 2 or 3 months than I ever have in my entire career, because I usually have traveled a couple times a month, at least for work, since I started working. And the the opportunity is to help where you are, to bloom where you're planted, and to look around. And we don't always have like ducks in the pond to rescue, but there's lots to do. And there's lots to build and create, and there's lots to grow, and there's people who need help all around. And Um, I love that story for so many reasons, and it's a nice way to start the week. You know.
Yeah. Well, and that's a great reminder. I think as we head into this week of unfolding, our intention is to practice looking for what's right, what's good in the world, what's going well, what occurs to us, where's the flow, and let's follow it in a meandering way, not a forceful way, not a programmed way, not a planned way, but just really noticing, where do we lean in? Where is our urging coming from? What is emerging for us now? And we can't wait to hear what that looks like for you as the days unfold. So I think we'll leave it there.
Let's leave it there. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you more around the group and online.
We'd love to hear from you. See you soon. Have a great week.